After traveling to another world, the female protagonist is allowed to decide her own abilities by the god, but she gives up the powerful strength and chooses the average abilities. To her surprise, the average abilities in this world are still 6,800 times more powerful than that of ordinary people. What interesting adventures will such a powerful girl encounter in another world? Let's see. The story begins as the female protagonist, Mile, arrives in a strange kingdom. Hoping to live a peaceful and joyful life as an ordinary person, she intends to enter hunter's prep school and learn to be a hunter. Before school starts, she prepares to visit the kingdom's capital. While visiting, she bumps into a tall knight. Surprisingly, the knight turns out to be a girl, which is very unusual. After then, Mile accidentally walks into the slum. A beautiful mage warns her not to approach the slum, as girls have often gone missing recently. Mile follows her advice and intends to leave. Unexpectedly, the mage walks into the slum after talking to Mile. Later, Mile goes to the nearby market where she bumps into a sexy girl. Mile feels very envious since the girl is about at her age, but has a plump figure. After then, Mile buys a pork leg for a barbecue. It turns out that Mile can cast a very powerful spatial spell, so she can carry a huge pork leg in her pocket. At night, the innkeeper's daughter, Lenny, also tells Mile about the missing cases recently and reminds her not to go out. Back to her room, Mile summons a cat for chatting, which is made of mana and can only be seen by her. It turns out that Mile is from Earth. She was killed in a car accident while saving a little girl. Luckily, she was given the chance to be reborn into another world, and God promised to endow her with unique talents. However, Mile no longer wanted to be a genius who had no friends as in her previous life, so she asked God to give her average ability, and God agreed. Just then, Mile hears the shocking news that Lenny has gone missing. Worried about Lenny, Mile goes out to search for her. Soon, she encounters two kidnappers. Fortunately, the knight Mile met earlier appears and stops the kidnappers. However, the kidnappers are outnumbered, and the knight falls to the downside in battle. Seeing this, Mile hurriedly casts a hypnotic spell and forces the kidnappers to sleep. The knight tells Mile that her name is Mavis and that she is also investigating the missing cases. So the two girls get together to investigate. Soon, they discover the other kidnappers. In the next moment, the beautiful mage that Mile met earlier in the slums defeats the kidnappers. Her name is Reina, and she is also searching for missing girls. As a result, the three girls start their search together. Soon after, they find the missing girls in the kidnappers' camp. Coincidentally, the beautiful girl that Mile met in the market is also there. Her name is Pauline. She was captured after witnessing the kidnapping. She is also a mage, and is very good at healing magic. Just then, the kidnappers' leader appears with several mercenaries. She is a sexy woman, as well as a pervert. She likes girls so much that she hires many kidnappers to capture girls. The mercenaries are much stronger than the kidnappers, and the other three girls are defeated except for Mile. As a result, Mile has to fight the mercenaries alone. Although Mile asked for average abilities, she's actually 6,800 times more powerful than ordinary people. There are more intelligent creatures in this world than humans. The average ability God gave Mile is half of the combined abilities between the world's strongest creature, the ancient dragon, and the weakest human. Therefore, Mile actually has super strong abilities so that she can defeat all enemies in an instant. But Mile soon regrets it, since she just wants to be an ordinary person and doesn't want to show her real strength. In the end, she flees in shame. A few days later, she attends Hunter's prep school and is surprised to find that her three roommates turn out to be Reina, Mavis, and Pauline. Mile still wants to disguise herself as an ordinary person, but having seen her true strength, her roommates are still suspicious of her. Every student needs to take an entrance test at Hunter's prep school. Mile tries to hold back her abilities to appear average, but the examiner in charge of testing her looks down on her and even laughs at her figure. Feeling furious, she forgets to hide her strength and directly defeats the examiner. Now everyone knows that Mile is strong. The entrance test contains a magic test. Reina takes the lead to finish the test. Thinking that she should show similar strength to Reina so as not to surprise others, Mile casts the same spell as Reina. Unexpectedly, after the test, Reina tells her that it is an original spell that has never been leaked out, but Mile can learn it at first sight, which shows that Mile is a magical genius. Hearing this, Mile is embarrassed. After then, even though Mile emphasizes that she is just a normal person, her roommates don't believe her anymore. Mile has to explain that all her abilities are a family secret. Seeing Mile is reluctant to tell the reason, her roommates no longer force her to explain. Soon after, the school releases some simple tasks that students need to team up to complete. So Mile and her roommates set out on the mission. The mission is to hunt 10 horned rabbits. Although rabbits are weak, they move at a very fast speed. As a result, they don't succeed in hunting any horned rabbits. In fact, Mile can easily complete the task, but it will make her roommates feel lost. So she decides to train her roommates to become stronger in the hopes that she'll stand out less. She then helps Reina and Pauline to improve their magics, and Mavis to enhance her swordsmanship. Through Miles' assistance, her roommates have become much stronger. The next day, they complete the mission. Unexpectedly, a powerful rock golem appears, which is a very powerful monster that can only be defeated by a team of C-rank hunters. Unfortunately, Miles' roommates are E-rank hunters, while Mile is an F-rank hunter. Thinking that they can't defeat the monster, Miles' roommates try to escape, only to find the other 2 rock golems on the other side. As a result, they have to try their best and fight against the monsters. After a difficult battle, Miles' roommates finally defeat a rock golem. Only then do they discover that Mile has defeated 2 other rock golems alone. After then, the achievements of Miles' team are praised by the teacher and all the members are delighted. It only takes students 1 semester to finish all the classes of the school. As 6 months have passed, Mile is about to graduate. She and her roommates have become very close friends during the past semester, and they have agreed to team up for adventures after graduation. Mile is happy because she has been worried that they will be jealous of her excellence. Luckily, her roommates not only do not envy her, but are willing to be her partners forever. They form a team called the Crimson Vow and prepare to embark on their adventure. The first thing they need to do is make money, therefore, they must take on some difficult quests. Their first quest is to hunt rock lizards. Although it is very easy for Mile to defeat the monsters, this quest requires the hunter to keep intact their bodies. As a result, she must defeat the rock lizards without damaging their appearance. Mile judges that the lizard will slow down as long as its body temperature is lowered. In the end, they successfully hunt many rock lizards, and receive a large amount of money. After then, they accept an assignment as guards for a caravan. One day, they encounter the bandits. With their joint efforts, they defeat the bandits easily. At this time, Reina wants to execute the bandits, but her teammates stop her in time. It turns out that Reina's father was killed by bandits, so she abominates them. Even so, Mile thinks Reina shouldn't kill enemies who have already surrendered. After discussion, they decide on the basic rule for the Crimson Vow: they will not kill enemies who have already surrendered. Even if enemies are criminals, they should be given the punishment they deserve after the trial. For Reina, her teammates are her family. She wants to kill the bandits because she is afraid of losing her family again. But after looking at the determined looks of her teammates, she believes that this time she will never lose them. Unexpectedly, the next day, Pauline has gone missing. Soon after, Mavis receives a letter from her 3rd eldest brother, telling her that he is getting married soon, and invites her to the wedding ceremony. Surprisingly, his fiancée is Pauline. It turns out that Pauline used to be the daughter of a wealthy businessman, while Mavis's father is a count, as well as a powerful knight, and her 3 elder brothers are also famous knights. However, a sinister merchant united with the local lord, murdered Pauline's father. After then, he seized the property of Pauline's family and forced her mother to marry him, but he is still dissatisfied. To gain political status, the sinister man forced Pauline to marry Mavis's 3rd elder brother. Knowing that Pauline definitely doesn't want to marry someone she has never met, the Crimson Vow goes to her hometown and tries to stop the marriage. Unexpectedly, Pauline's hometown looks very poor because the local economy is controlled by her stepfather and local lords, who only want to make more money and oppress the local people. At night, they break into Pauline's estate, which is guarded by many guards. They easily defeat these guards and join Pauline. Just then, Mavis's father appears. Pauline then tells him about the past and exposes her stepfather's crimes. As a result, Mavis's father calls for a trial by combat. After this period of exercise, Pauline has become a strong hunter. She successfully defeats her stepfather and the local lord to avenge her father. In fact, Mavis's father has known that Pauline's stepfather and the local lord are criminals. Therefore, he deliberately proposed a combat trial to give Pauline a chance at revenge. And the reason why he agreed to the marriage was to meet Mavis. He knows Mavis would come to stop the marriage for Pauline's sake. Believing that Mavis should be a lady instead of a hunter, he asks his subordinates to forcibly bring Mavis home. To prove her determination, Mavis directly defeats her father's subordinates. But still feeling worried, her father offers to let Mavis continue the adventure if the leader of the Crimson Vow, Mile, can defeat him. Mavis's father is an experienced knight who is very strong in swordsmanship. He quickly sees that Mile barely knows any swordsmanship. but Miles' strength, speed, and reflexes are far beyond ordinary people, and she defeats him just by constantly swinging her sword. In the end, Mavis's father has to throw in the towel, and leaves after entrusting his daughter to Miles. After then, the Crimson Vow embarks on their journey again. Since they do not receive the assignment during this time, they soon spend all the money, so they want to do a difficult and high-paying task. This time, they take up a wyvern hunting quest, which is difficult but not dangerous. The Crimson Vow can definitely defeat the wyvern, but once the wyvern encounters danger, it will immediately escape and it will be very difficult to catch up with it. Even so, they take up the quest and a nearby village provides them with a cow as bait, but the wyvern is so clever that it seems to see through their trap. Instead of preying on the cow, it grabs a log and throws it at them. Miles wants to fight back, but the magic range is too short to hit the wyvern. Miles then comes up with a new idea. She throws Reina directly at the wyvern and lets her use magic in the air. However, Reina is too alarmed to hit the wyvern. Miles then throws Mavis out again, but she also fails. In the end, Miles throws Pauline out. Unexpectedly, Pauline faints halfway through, and Miles has to put a protective shield on her to prevent her from getting hurt. Coincidentally, Pauline happens to hit the wyvern. After being knocked unconscious, the wyvern falls to the ground. Miles quickly ties the wyvern with a net. Just as they are about to kill the wyvern, an old magician stops them and tells them that he was the owner of the wyvern. It turns out that when the old magician was young, he picked up the injured juvenile wyvern. He raised Wyvern concealing from his parents and became close friends with it. But later, Wyvern's parents found it and forced him to release their kid. Later, the old magician finally had the ability to domesticate the wyvern. He never gave up looking for it, but he did not find it until today. Hearing this touching story, the Crimson Vow releases the wyvern. But the wyvern has preyed on many domestic animals, and has caused considerable economic losses to the nearby villages. The old magician then takes out a large sum of money to compensate the nearby villagers, and he also gives the Crimson Vow money as a thank you gift. After receiving the money, the Crimson Vow builds a private hot spring bathhouse at Lenny's Inn. In fact, there are no hot springs in the local area. It is Miles who uses magic to heat the bathwater and create an artificial hot spring. She renovates the bathhouse in Japanese style and it is well received by everyone. The Crimson Vow has accomplished many difficult tasks, making them famous hunters. Coincidentally, the Hunters Guild has a very difficult quest, and no one has been able to complete it, so the Crimson Vow takes up the quest. However, Miles tells her teammates that she would try to help as little as possible this time because they are too dependent on her, which is not good for the development of the team, and everyone agrees with her. The quest this time is to search for several hunters who have disappeared in the forest. Just as they agreed before, Miles' teammates are the main force, and Miles works as the logistics. Soon after, they find an ancient relic in the forest. Many beastmen are digging for treasure. They speculate that the missing hunters may have been kidnapped by these beastmen. At night, they sneak into the relic. As expected, they find the missing hunters and release them. However, one of the hunters tells them that a scholar has been imprisoned in the relic by the beastmen, so they ask the other hunters to leave first, while they go on to rescue the scholar. In the relic, they encounter many beastmen guards and have a fierce battle with them. Soon, they achieve victory, but the beastmen seem to not be worried about them breaking into the relic. The Crimson Vow then see many ancient murals in the relic and meet the scholar imprisoned here. The scholar warns them that the truly powerful enemy is not the beastmen, but the ancient dragons. Just then, a dragon appears. The ancient dragon is the most powerful creature in this world. Although they attack the dragon, it remains unharmed. In contrast, the dragon's counterattack directly injures Miles, the strongest of the team. Knowing her ability is the average of the ancient dragon and humans, Miles is very afraid since she may only have half the strength of ancient dragons. Even so, her teammates keep fighting because they want to protect the injured Miles. Touched by them, Miles finally cheers herself up after seeing her teammates defeated. She fights at full strength for the first time and successfully hurts the dragon. She instantly realizes that her ability is the average of the strongest ancient dragon and the weakest human. But most ancient dragons have less than half the power of the strongest dragon. Realizing this, she calms down and manages to defeat the ancient dragon. After then, two dragons join the battle, but they are also weak dragons. Even if they fight Miles together, they cannot win. Having scientific knowledge of previous life, Miles understands magic more than any creatures in this world. As a result, she can use 3 times the power of magic. In the end, Miles manages to defeat 3 ancient dragons, but then she worries that her performance would scare her teammates. Luckily, her teammates have long been accustomed to her strength, and still regard her as their best friend. At this time, the ancient dragons also calm down. They don't actually intend to harm humans. To avoid causing panic, they even choose to hire beastmen to dig up the relic. The reason why they imprison the scholar is to ask her to help study the ancient relic. But this relic has no research value, and they are ready to release all humans today. After then, the ancient dragons leave the forest and everything returns to normal. At Miles' request, the scholar does not tell anyone else about Miles' defeat of ancient dragons. Therefore, Miles can continue to adventure as an ordinary hunter in the future. Once more, the Crimson Vow sets forth on their adventure. Miles enjoys her current life very much, which is ordinary but joyful. The story ends here. Though Miles hasn't acquired the average abilities, she still lives an ordinary but happy life. Miles is lucky, not only because she possesses super powerful strength but also because she meets a group of friends who can understand and is nice to her. With the company of her friends, even though Miles really possessed average abilities, I believe she would still have lived a joyful life. If you also like this anime, please like and subscribe. If you want to see another anime, please leave its name in the comment area. See you in my next video.